Hello there. I hope you have a drink and something to snack on. Allow yourself to block out your surroundings and tap into our conversation. You are listening to the Safe Room Podcast with yours truly, Shon Williams. Okay, we are live. Ladies and gentlemen, you are tuning in to LuvBay Afrobeat Music Talk Radio. My name is Shon Williams, aka Mr. President. You can call me Mr. President. I don't mind by that. And welcome to the debut of the Safe Room Podcast, a safe space for everyone who wants to share their personal and professional stories. I'm super excited. It's my radio debut here on LuvBay Radio. Super excited for this opportunity. It's a new era for the Safe Room Podcast, and we have to kick it off in the right way. So, my guest I have here today, what can I say about this individual?
So many things.
So many things. She's a product photographer. Her journey did not start with a camera. It started with Photoshop. Mind you with that. She has been doing some amazing work. I've seen some of the fantastic clients she's worked with, and you definitely need to tap in with her. She has her own company, On WYT, I believe it's pronounced, and she is responsible for this fantastic photo that I got in 2022. So I have to give some shout out for that.
Wow.
But today we have the wonderful, the fantastic, the talented Miss Khree Fearman. Khree, how are you doing?
Well, I'm glowing after that wonderful intro there. My cheeks are about to fall off my face, but outside of that, it's Baby Friday, so I'm feeling great.
I'm glad that you're here. Like I said, this is the debut for us, so I'm glad it's having it with you. We're going to kick it off with a bang.
I'm happy to be here, believe me, and I've seen your journey from our initial introduction a few years ago, actually. So it's really cool to see you move from podcast to radio. This is big things.
Big things. Thank you so much. So we're going to get things started, but before you guys do that, we are live streaming on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. So if you are watching this live, make sure that you like, comment, and share so you won't miss any more episodes, any more live streams of the Safe Room Podcast right here on LuvBay Radio. But until then, let's get into our main segment, the hot seat. So, Khree, I have 4 questions I want to ask you, and I just want you to answer them to your best abilities, okay?
Bring it on. I'm ready.
Okay, you seem ready. Okay, so first question. Outside of the work that you do as a product photographer, tell me something about yourself in one sentence.
One sentence. Wow, the seat is really hot. I love love.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. I think sharing it in every capacity that I can is really filling for me. So even on my worst days, I know what's going to make me feel better is by telling somebody that I love them.
I love that. That's beautiful. Wow, that might be one of the most introspective answers I've got in the entirety I've done this segment, so I love it.
You're welcome.
Perfect. Okay, my second question. So I want you to name a product that you took photos for, and after experiencing this product, you're like, you know what? I kind of want to purchase it for my own personal pleasure.
Okay. You ready for this?
Yeah.
Mama's Life Products Shea Butter.
Okay, talk about it.
You see this glow? You see this glow? It's all natural shea. Okay? I've been photographing it for, it's coming up to 4 years now. Just before COVID. And I have not put anything else on my skin.
Well, you are glowing, like you mentioned. It's radiancy.
Wow.
Shining, the vibrancy, all the words that you can throw out in the dictionary.
Don't gas me.
No, but like for real, like that's good to hear, having, a product that you took photos for almost 4 years and it's doing you wonders. That's beautiful.
Yeah. I'm a walking testament.
Okay, so the next question I have here. An interesting fact that you rarely share about yourself?
I don't like to sleep with the closet door open. I'll get bad dreams.
Okay, that's interesting. I'm sort of the same, but it's like it's not the closet door, but like just the door to my room. I cannot sleep if it's open.
I feel you. It's like a portal of darkness in a way. It's not good. It's not good.
Yeah, it's just like it gives me bad vibes. I'm just worried someone's just gonna jump in and just like stalk me in the night. So
Your room doesn't feel safe. See what I did there?
See, this is why you're here. This is why you're here. Okay, I see you, Khree. Anyway, so the final question I have here for this hot seat segment is, what is your personal safe room? So what is a safe space? It can be physical, mental, that allows you to be yourself.
I have a little bit of a Lego collection going, and anytime I feel less than great, I bring out all of the Lego. And I'm looking up because I have them along the walls here in bins. I bring out the Legos and I will sit there like a 5-year-old and play with the Lego until I feel better. That is my safe space.
Wow, that's kind of nice. It kind of brings out that inner child that I feel like a lot of us don't try to like tap into more. So I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never heard that answer too. So again, very, very unique.
Yeah, grown adults, they come over to my place and they see the Legos and they're like, "Do you have little children?" And I'm like, "No, I am the little child. Would you like to play?"
I love it. I love it. That's the type of energy I feel like everyone needs to give off sometimes.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so that was our hot seat segment. You did great with your answers. Again, very unique answers. And that's what we love about, the people we bring on for our conversations here in the Safe Room, and you being the first one here for our radio debut. It just makes it so much special.
Awesome.
Okay. So let's actually get into the meat and potatoes. Let's actually get to the main question. So I mentioned at the beginning that you are the founder of On WYT. So I want to know, when did you get started with that, and how does your service in product photography provide value to some of the clients and the businesses you've collaborated with?
So to answer the first part of your question, when? This was back in 2019. I had just finished up a maternity leave coverage for 1 year for another product photographer. So I knew going into it that there was, a running clock for my time there. So when the maternity leave coverage was finished, I was asked to return back to my managerial retail role, which to me was a downgrade, because for a year, every day, I went into work and I didn't feel like I was working. I was in love with the fact that I could have a camera in my hand. I love that every day I learned something new. And I also love the fact that I was working with someone who was so much better than I was. And I have a very competitive nature, and the chase to get to his level was there every single day. So back in 2019 is when I started. And I pretty much copied the model that company used in terms of their process in taking photos of vendor products. And then they would just upload them to the website. But for me, I thought, okay, let me get rid of the middleman. What if I could find small businesses who can't afford a commercial product photographer, or much less can't afford a studio space, but really need those images so that they can start to sell? So that's what I did. I reached out directly to small businesses through Facebook and Instagram DMs, really just looking for bad images of products and showing them what I could do based off of the portfolio that I built from my previous job. And from there, it really just spiraled, and I noticed that there was a niche market of people who really did need my services, who couldn't afford the 10K, the 15K, the 20K. And then COVID hit. And everybody had to become hustlers out of nowhere. And all of a sudden, everyone's making candles and face scrubs and, body butters. And I was like, well, I can do all of that. I can do all of that and I could do it so fast. And it just spiraled from there. And that's really where all of this came from. And all in all, every time I speak to a new customer, a new client, I know that I'm going to be doing something that I love. So that's where the foundation of On WYT came from.
I love that. That's absolutely amazing. It's funny that you mentioned you started 2019 and you mentioned you had that competitive drive. I feel like everyone has that competitive drive and it comes out in different ways. So you kind of seeing that like, like I understand like I'm working with this person, but like I don't like how you're up here and I'm here. I'm trying to like,
Yeah, basically.
I feel you. But you did also have some good moments where you capitalize on, reaching out to people on Facebook, like you mentioned, networking, doing cold marketing, like cold, hard marketing, which I feel a lot of people nowadays are trying to like master and figure out. So for you to have that determination and, show people, listen, you have these bad images, here's what I can provide, but also being able to reach out to clients that have the accessibility financially to, afford your services, which I think is so crucial as well, because a lot of people assume that when you're trying to get the best of the best, sometimes you have to spend a little bit of bang for your buck, but you can spend a good amount and still get that quality, but it's like you're not breaking the bank completely.
Right. And the whole basis was to really get them from where they started and grow with them. So as they brought in new products or they needed more images, for me, I'm learning, I'm getting better and better each time. So growing together was a wonderful way for me to connect and stay connected to those people.
Absolutely. I have a follow-up question. So
sure.
Why the name On WYT? Because I won't even lie with you, I'm gonna be 100%. When I first got in touch in the stuff what you were doing, I was trying to like break down the name, like, oh, it's an abbreviation for something. I'm like, is it? I don't know.
It's not. Okay, so in the digital asset world, the types of images that I provide mainly, which is for e-commerce, like Amazon, Walmart, Wayfair, Costco, all of their products are shot on white. So on white comes from just the overall description of the type of images that I provide. I couldn't do the WHITE because it was too close to off-white. And people would think that it was some sort of a Virgil Abloh spin-off. So that is why it's spelled the way that it is, WYT.
I love that. But it's creative. The creativity kicks in. It's good branding as well. And I feel like you and we share the same sentiment. When I named my podcast The Safe Room, people immediately started to butcher the name. It was either The Safe Space, Safe Room on its own. Some people thought it was The Shade Room, a spin-off The Shade Room. I'm like, look, at this point, you can call it what you want, but it's The Safe Room. Like, I feel like for you understood that, okay, if I'm going to be naming my company or my business like this, I want it to stick out. And I feel like names is always a representation of the work that we do. So it's kind of nice. I won't lie. Like, it's very clever. For real. It's clever.
Thank you. I'm going to make an Instagram post about the foundation of my name now that you ask. There's probably a lot of people out there who are wondering why it's spelled that way.
I mean, I never questioned it. I thought, like, her name as a whole, Khree Fearman, that is tough. Like,
thank you.
Tough.
I'll tell my mom you said that. I didn't come up with my name. So
duly noted. Okay. So the next question I have here, and this is very interesting because also I mentioned at the beginning of your bio that you didn't start off with a camera. It was Photoshop. And no, for me, I don't know nothing about Photoshop. So that is not even in my repertoire. But I did want to ask you, what were some lessons or skills you did learn when it came to expanding on your experience in product photography? Because you mentioned before you did work for a previous company that was a product photographer at the time being, then you kind of jumped into your own lane. What were some things that you learned throughout that journey, and like how did you find the ways to go about it? Like, were there some things that were easy to understand? Were there some stuff that you kind of had some difficulty with? How did that happen for you?
So, the gentleman who I was working with, his name is Ewan McClelland, if anyone's interested in finding him on LinkedIn. Um, as I previously mentioned, he was an amazing photographer. He is one, and he was technically trained. I was not. So for me, I just had the eye. I knew how to make something look good. But if you were to, ask me to change the lighting at the time or adjust the camera settings, a big question mark would be over my head. Like, what? What are you asking me to do? So, what I learned throughout my product photography journey was ensuring that I actually surrounded myself with people like Ewan who were much better than I was. I figured that that was the fastest way for me to learn. I can make my mistakes and have a mentor right next to me saying, hey, that's not going to work. Don't waste your time. Do it this way. So that was one of the major lessons that I learned. And then second was I actually also have a background in business entrepreneurship from Centennial College. So learning how to pair my love for photography with business was the second lesson. Learning that using communication and arts together was how I was going to make sure that my relationships stayed fortified. Um, from beginning to end, for anybody who's worked with me, they know that from the intake form, the second that the intake form gets sent to me, they're speaking directly with me right after. And up until, I'm asking for a review at the end, I'm also going to ask you one more time. Is there anything else that I can help you with? Because there's always something else that I can help them with. And I want to make sure that I'm always making myself available. So those would be the two major things that I've learned thus far in my product photography journey.
Wow, that's amazing to hear. And I would like how you kind of incorporated some of that business entrepreneurship into the stuff that you're doing as well. Like, being able to pick up that education. So it's really good that you didn't go to school and like I learned something, but it just didn't feel like it didn't click. Because I feel like for a lot of people too, they get into their business, but once they look back, they realize, wait a minute, I wish I had the chance to actually take a business course because I wasn't doing it at the time being. So it seems like for you, there was still some correlation that you could add on to the work that you were doing. And obviously, again, it's shown exceptional results. Again, you're a very busy individual. You've covered so much different stuff. I've seen you at work at different events. I know Business Industries, which is a charity organization here in Toronto. They're a group of people who have reached out to you, and you've done like photos, photo shoots and everything like that. So again, I've seen you at work, and it shows that you are someone who's very committed, but you understand and you're willing to learn about different things as you go as an entrepreneur.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's amazing to hear. So again, for everyone who might be joining in, again, you are listening to The Safe Room on LuvBay Radio. Again, we're streaming live on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook. I'm here with Khree Fearman, and we're having a fantastic conversation of her journey as a product photographer. And we're just getting into like we're cracking the surface right now. I know we're about to get even more deeper, so let's get into it. Let's get to the next question. So why is it crucial, in your opinion, that, having photos of your product, let's say if you're a business owner, an entrepreneur, or maybe you're trying to get shots of a product that you have, why do you feel it's crucial for entrepreneurs to have photos of their product that could be beneficial for them to perhaps increase, brand awareness or maybe customer acquisition or getting more sales? Why do you feel like it's important?
Okay, let's get right into it, okay? We all have shopped online in some way, shape, or form. Specifically speaking to Amazon. And on top of that, we also read left to right. When you go into the Amazon app and you search for something that you're looking for, the first thing that you see on the left-hand side is a picture. The picture is how we, the end user, decide whether or not we're going to click it. And then the second most important thing is the price. We don't look at the price first. The price is in the middle column of your phone if you're using your phone, or it's in the middle of your desktop. The image, the quality, the size, and the quantity of images accompanied with that product is why it's so important to have great images if you're an entrepreneur looking to sell. On top of that, the clicks most of the time will lead you to some sort of a conversion, whether you're trying to get somebody onto your website or complete the purchase or even share the fact that they made the purchase. The image is what's going to grab their attention first. Nowadays, we can make a purchase in less than 2 minutes. And the only reason why is because we have a visual. If there's no visual, how are we shopping? Right. Yeah. So that's where I come in, and I definitely make sure that the images are grade A quality. So right now I'm working for 3M, put it that way. The command strips that everybody's buying right now, I'm shooting them. The Scotch-Brite sponges, I'm shooting them. So, and that's a really big company. It's a US-based company, and they trust little old me with my camera. That's all I gotta say.
I wouldn't say. I wouldn't say little old me. I mean, like, because you're working for these companies, it's like you need to big up yourself. Nah, I'm talking like I'm the top dog. I'm the number one ranked. But I get what you mean, and I love the way you actually presented that situation, because you know what? As you were saying that, I kind of had to pause and be like, that she may have a point, because sometimes I won't lie. If let's say, for example, I'm not a sneakerhead, but sometimes if I'll go on like Foot Locker, what really matters is what's the latest shoe that just dropped? And when you look at the photos, it's like, oh man, this looks clean. Because again, like the visuals are always everything. It gives us, an indication on what our next move is going to be in the back of our minds. Like, are we going to go this way and I want to learn more? Maybe it's like, all right, maybe I'll just hop off the website. So I feel like you share a very strong point where the visuals really tell a story, but it could also gravitate to your audience on what you could be purchasing, what you could not be purchasing. So I do like the way you picture that, because now I'm starting to think like, you know what, maybe if I ever had to have a product and do some photo shoots, I got to make sure that everything looks, professional and everything looks clean. If everything just looks run of the mill and nothing looks really proper, then there's a reason why people are not going to probably click on my stuff that I'm doing. So that's a very interesting way of explaining it, Khree. I appreciate you sharing that.
You're welcome.
Yeah, that's amazing. I have a follow-up question, and this might be tough, because I can only imagine how much products you have took photos for, but what would you say was the most fun photo shoot you've done so far in terms of taking photos for a product? And if you don't want to mention a name, that's totally fine, because I don't know if that's gonna spark any conversation or controversy. You could just explain the situation, just don't mention the name of the individual. So
okay, so it wasn't an individual. This is actually a bigger company. Okay. It was Amazon Canada. I was out in Brampton. Yeah, I was out in Brampton, and there was a bin of products that nobody wanted to shoot, and they just kept walking past them, and I was like, what's in this box? Let me see what's in this box. They were adult toys. That's what they were. And I legitimately, I had to put them on the table and shoot them in a way that wasn't too crass. I had to shoot them in a very polite and gentle way where it wasn't aggressive on somebody's screen. And I kid you not, there were two photographers right behind me just staring at me shoot these things. And they were like, that box has been there for a month because we didn't know how to shoot this stuff. And I was like, well, I'm going to shoot them. I'm going to finish my shift and I'm going to go home. Wow. So that would have to be my top weird most that was fun as well, but I was like, wow, it was interesting.
That is wow. Yeah. I'm literally speechless. I don't even know what to say, because I'm thinking Amazon Canada and adult toys. I just don't see how they connect in any matter.
They got a section. Don't go searching, but they got a section. They got a section.
But you know what? I think that goes to show your professionalism, but also figuring out exactly how you want to, utilize the situation. Because again, most people, you mentioned those two photographers, the box was sitting there for a month. they
Yeah.
didn't know how to approach the situation. But for you, being able to kind of, work with what you have. And I love how you were described too. It's like, I had to do it a gentle, not aggressive.
Well, yeah, because you're scrolling, right? And you're shopping and you're basing it off of the pictures. You want something that's not too like, oh my gosh, oh my goodness, I'm not trying to look at that. Like you just want to be like, just a gentle click. Let me see what's
Yeah,
going on there.
I definitely feel you. Absolutely. Absolutely. I just was checking the chat to see if there's any messages. I did see Jay with the congratulations. Thank you so much. Again, for everyone listening, this is the radio debut of the Safe Room here on LuvBay Radio. And we are here with Khree Fearman. She is a product photographer. Say hello to the people, Khree.
What's going on, everybody? Happy Thursday.
Yes, yes. We were just talking about her very interesting photo shoot with Amazon Canada. And again, it shows a lot of professionalism for you being in that situation, having to not only, do what you do, but I'm pretty sure it benefited in the end. Like, do you mind sharing like how it all kind of transpired afterwards?
Yes, actually. So, during my final 2 days with Amazon Canada, I had interviewed for a different job. Same deal, same product photographer deal. And it turns out that was 3M. So my opportunity, it was a 9-day opportunity with Amazon. My 9-day opportunity led to 3M, which I think I'm coming up to a year now in March. So I've just been a happy camper ever since. Ever since. I still speak with the Amazon team from time to time, but for now, I'm pretty much anchored to 3M.
Well, that's good to hear. It's good to hear that you stuck it out with 3M for over a year, which is it's amazing. It's amazing, because especially when you consider a lot of people right now, they may be switching out of careers or different occupations, jobs, and stuff like that, with the job market being it's fluctuating all the time. Yeah, it's fluctuating like up and down. So for you to stick there for a year, that's amazing to hear. That's great. I want to go on to my next question, and this is something I just kind of picked up from our conversation. I didn't want to just kind of stick to the ones I have on my phone. I wanted to make it feel natural. So,
of course,
I noticed that, again, I mentioned Photoshop at the beginning. There are some people who may not even be product photographers that may want to use certain tools and resources that help them to improve their workflow. So I wanted to ask you, what are some of the different tools, maybe editing software that you use for your own business that allow you to have a maintained workflow, but also it's helped you like every single step of the journey as a product photographer?
So I have my PhD in YouTube University. That is how I learned how to use Photoshop, as well as all of the other programs that I use. I do not have papers for the Adobe suite, but I am proficient in the entire suite. So YouTube is my go-to anytime I need to humble myself and just ask, how do I do this? What does this button mean? So I use Photoshop. I use Capture One. So Capture One is a program that allows me to connect my camera to my screen, and I can edit at the same time. So if I need to change colors before I even bring it into Photoshop, I can do that. So there's that. There's Illustrator, Adobe Illustrator, which is mainly for graphic design. So I've had requests of clients who need me to adjust a small mistake that they've made on their labels, and they don't have the time nor the funds to go and reprint everything. So I can make those quick changes for their storefront, and in the meantime, they can, do what they have to do to actually print the labels. So I don't have to wait for them. What else do I use? CapCut. I love me some CapCut. Adobe Premiere is cool, but CapCut is user-friendly, and I'm able to share my lessons with people on how to use CapCut. It's a little bit easier for them to grasp. So those would be my top 3 tools that I'm currently using for my product photography.
That's good to hear. And I did like how you mentioned that you learn mostly everything on YouTube, which I feel like a lot of us are. I feel some of us are ashamed to say that. I won't lie. Like, when I got started, I didn't even do research. I just jumped right into it. But anytime I was stuck, I was telling myself, yeah, I'm just going straight to YouTube. It's like, yeah, how do you get this piece of video and footage? Because I don't know what to do, and I'm just not trying to, like, pay someone to do it right now at the moment. I kind of want to learn. But I feel like with YouTube, that's a tool and resource of its own, because there's so much valuable information that you can grab, whether it's for beginners, experts, someone who's intermediate in what they're doing. So I think it's really good. And even some of the stuff that you listed out, so Photoshop, Capture One, Illustrator, CapCut as well. I mean, I haven't used CapCut yet, so there's a little spoiler right there. I have not used CapCut, but I might.
It'll change your life, man. It'll change your life. You'd be like, Adobe Premiere, what?
I tried Adobe Premiere once. I promise you, never again. Like,
it's complicated.
It's complicated, but it's also like, if you are exporting a file, I'm telling you, you might as well just pull an all-nighter. Especially if you're like exporting it all at nighttime, you might as well pull an all-nighter.
That render process, whoa.
It's brutality. Yeah, but I mean, it's good to know, because I feel like a lot of people, they want to figure out what resources are out there. And again, for you, I can only imagine some of the amount of clients or organizations or businesses that you've had to, like, edit photos for. So, like, another question I do want to ask is, when you've run into a mistake when you're editing, like, how did you used to react in the past where, like, oh man, I don't know, I think, like, your morale just went down, to now where you see a mistake and you just learn to just push through or, like, fix it, like, immediately because of those, mistakes in the past?
Truthfully, when I first started and I was identifying those mistakes that I was making, photo wise, even blurs, or somebody's eyes halfway closed, or, little thing, I didn't check their teeth, like, I never panicked. Really and truly, what I would do is go to YouTube. And even if a photo was blurry, I found out that if I had photos that I took right after that, I could merge them together and bring the focus back in. I learned how to open up both eyes if need be, because some people sneeze in the middle of a photo shoot, and there's nothing you can do about that. I learned to change teeth as well. So I really never panicked. I always saw those opportunities as opportunities themselves to just learn new skills as I grew.
Well, that's good. That's really, really good. I feel like having a calm mindset really helps you, because if you're someone who freaks out after one incident, then, it might just ruin your complete, flow of things. I was that individual when I got started. I thought, if the audio on, like, an incident is terrible, I would be like, yeah, I'm scrapping it. I'm not posting this.
Gotta give yourself some grace sometimes. People know you're human, So you're allowed to show up as a human too.
And I think that's another trait that's super important if you're an entrepreneur. I feel like once you establish an audience and people see the work and the determination you put into the stuff that you do, whether it's with your physical brick and mortar or an online business, that when you do make a mistake, they're not going to be roasting you, saying like, oh my gosh, like, Khree's tracked, like, what's wrong, like, you're messing up, how dare you. They'll understand, like, yeah, you're human, you have other things to do, and, like, there's other times where you have to just accept it and be like, okay, we're moving on. Like, the other night I was on IG, someone, like, posted something on their story. I'm like, okay, no harm, no foul. I'm reading the caption. I'm like, oh, wait, there's, like, a typo. So, like, me being the little person I am, I just sent a quick DM. I'm like, oh, you made a typo, but I know what you meant. And I gave a little heart emoji. And then they sent a voice note saying, like, oh, like, thank you so much. He's like, for some reason, I don't know how that slipped over me, but thank you. And, like, it's kind of like, it's like accountability. It's like you're showing support, but it's like positive accountability. Not that I'm trying to put harm on you, but it's more of like, I see what you're doing, and, I just want to, like, shout you out on this point, or shout you out this point, because I want to continue to see, your growth.
No, I agree. I totally agree.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I want to go back to On White, and
Yeah.
I want you to kind of share some of the services that you do provide to clients and to businesses, because I know when it comes to product photography, some people may not know exactly what that is. It's like, so what? You just take the photo and that's it, bada boom, bada boom, gone?
Okay, so in terms of the services that I provide, the on white images, of course, e-commerce, Facebook Marketplace, wherever you want to sell your items. The on white is the requirement from all of those platforms. In addition to that, you need the exciting ones too. So I provide lifestyle images as packages or as a separate service. And all that means is it's got like an elaborate background in it, or we've got a hand model if need be, for something like shea butter, as we talked about earlier. Sometimes you want to see the application on the skin. What does it look like once it makes contact? So that's where I would come in and I would take those in-action shots for clients. Another service that I provide is background removal. So if you yourself have taken the images and you're like, I don't know how to use Photoshop. I don't like the way the background looks. Like, how do I put a shadow underneath my product? How do I make it hover? Then you send me your raw images and I would do the retouching from there. That includes dust, scratches, label fixings, things like that. And then separately from that, if you've got images of yourself that you need photoshopped, that's me. I do professional retouching as well. So if you have a favorite photo from last year and you have a booger in your nose, I can take out the booger. I could take it out for you. I'll take it out for you. If your teeth are yellow, I can make them white. I could do all that for you. You just send me your request through my website, www.onwhite.co, and I will get it, and we will talk about it, and you will get what you need.
Okay. I love how you use the example of like, yeah, if you got a booger in your nose, then I'm like, clear it out. So I don't know, because like I feel like the way you said it, I'm like, has that happened before?
Oh yeah. I've had people show up with no haircut. No haircut. Like lineups was just janky, just not okay. And they were like, "Can you fix this for me? I need this for my LinkedIn profile, please." Like, yeah, no problem. I'll line you up right there. I'm a Photoshop barber. If anyone
It's
out there.
just like, yeah, it's like, you know what? Listen, if you're trying to get like a clean professional headshot, don't go spend $20 to go in person. Like, I'll just fix it up for you. Just a little touch up. We'll fix that hairline so that way it doesn't look like LeBron James or anything like that.
No receding hairlines. No receding hairlines. Even for your dating profile too. Holla at me.
I love that. But you do provide a lot, and it seems like, again, you have a really great understanding. Like, how was that process for you in terms of like figuring out what services that you want to do and having that structure in place? Like, was it something that you felt as the more experience you got, it just came in a flash? Or did you feel, okay, wait a minute, I tried this before and I'm hearing people saying that, oh, you should, keep doing that. Or maybe someone recommended saying you should try, adding this service into your business. Like, how would you feel like as time gone by, you've added your services? How did that process look out for you?
That process came about by listening to the requests that were coming in to me. So all's well and good that On White came from me. Foundationally, taking those On White images, that was me. But then I got asked, do you do more? Can you add props? And I was like, yeah, why not? Add that to the services. Then I was asked, can you do background removal? Yeah, I can. I get asked all the time. People send me their pictures all the time. Family photos. Can you take this person out of this picture? I just want me. Can you do that for me? Yeah, I can do that for you. So all of the services that I have right now currently available on my site are things that I didn't come up with. It's what my clients were asking me for and have continued to ask me for. So if they stop asking for photo retouching, I'm not going to provide that service anymore. It's all based off of what my current client base is asking for.
All right. That's pretty good. But it also implies, market research in a way. I feel like for a lot of entrepreneurs, you want to figure out what your audience is talking about, figure out exactly how you want to implement services that fit well, then I totally make sense. I'm looking at the chat right now. Get the Kleenex for the That's probably another solution right there. Kleenex. Nothing goes wrong if you have some Kleenex on you. I feel like situations you should be prepared for a photo, especially if you're taking like a headshot. You want to make sure that, okay, there's nothing in my eye, or like I don't have like a piece of hair on my clothes or whatever, thing like that. But it's still good to know that you have those types of services that it offers some flexibility, and people are not left kind of panicking like, oh no, like what, my hairline's like falling off, or like, oh no, like my shirt's like dirty, or like there's a stain on my pants. It's like it feels good that you have that awareness and is able to adjust and adapt to those situations.
Yeah.
Definitely. But yeah, I want to go on to the next question, and it's kind of sort of like a continuation of what I just asked you right now in terms of like how your process is. So how do you usually conduct business with your clients? So I guess picture a scenario where, let's say, someone is looking for your help, looking for a service that you provide. How does that usually kind of portray itself from start to finish? If it was an example, let's say you do meet with the client, they want to move forward, and you probably complete the sale or complete the service that they're asking for. How does that look like? Walk me down, like start to finish, how that looks like.
Okay, so start to finish, we really start with a discovery call. And all that means is for 15 minutes, you have the floor. You get to tell me about you, your business, what it is that you need, and then you also get to verify that my services are aligned with what it is that you're looking for. And I will take notes from that initial 15-minute conversation, and I will create a pitch deck. And the pitch deck outlines, what the customer or lead is looking for, plus what I can provide. And we put that together, and then, we put a dollar amount to that, along with a time frame. And from there, within the pitch deck, the lead is able to click and accept the quote. And then we turn it into an invoice. Contracts get signed, especially in cases where I'm shooting a food item or a beauty item that has secret ingredients or, intellectual property that they don't necessarily want to be made public. I ensure them that all of that is going to remain confidential, and, deposits get sent out. There's always a deposit. There is always a deposit. For anyone who's wondering, there is always a deposit. So after that, what happens is I confirm that I've received the products, however we decide to exchange. If you're within the GTA, we can always do a meetup. If you're not, I do have services that allow you to ship the products to me, and I will count and look at all of the products. I'll go over your social media accounts, your website, and I will make sure that I know the sizes of the images that need to be taken. I won't just give you random size images and then say, here, resize them yourself. I'll make sure that they're ready for you to upload right away as soon as you get them. I will take all the shots that I possibly can. I'll upload them to Dropbox. You, the client, get to look at your entire gallery. You get to choose the items within your package. And if you have extras that you would like, you have the option to choose the extras for a small fee. I will retouch them within a 7-day time period. You'll get them back retouched, so you can look at the old versus the new, so you can see visually for yourself what work I've put into the images. And then from there, you will always have access to your gallery. If ever, even a year, 6 months from now, you need fresh images, you have a campaign that you want to do, you can go back to the images that I took, say, hey, Khree, can I get this image? I will retouch it for you for a small fee. And then we take it from there. So after that, we go through a review process. I am always open to any kind of reviews, whether it's negative or positive, and I will take that feedback and I will input it back into the business in a way that makes it better and makes myself better. So from start to finish, it really is all about the client and what's accessible to them. And even after we're finished, the entire project, they still have an opportunity to resume the project at any time.
Okay, and just to clarify, it's just you doing all this.
Yes.
Okay.
For now.
Just a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. We just need claps in the chat. No, because I respect it. Like, you explaining all that, all I could think about, like, she has to have a team, right? There ain't no way she's doing this solo.
For now, it is definitely solo, and in that sense, each client has me, just me. I'm not sharing my time with anyone else. I go by client. I go from client to client. I'm not working with 3 clients all at once, because I think it's really important that you feel like I'm your photographer in the time that we have, and I need to be as accessible as possible. If you tell me last minute, from you choosing a 20 image package that you need 10 more images, I want you to feel comfortable enough to tell me those things, so long as I still have the products with me, because I'm your photographer. I'm your favorite product photographer. So that's all that means. It's a one-on-one all the time.
Yeah, I'm honestly surprised you did not say your favorite product photographer at the beginning, because I was waiting for that. I'm like, oh, she's probably gonna say it, because I know you, Khree. I know you be going around and like,
I gotta drop it.
You say it.
I gotta drop it. I gotta drop it in there. You know, sprinkles.
Sprinkle it a bit. Okay, perfect. But I love that. It shows, again, your commitment, your drive, your work ethic to be doing this since 2019, again, so like almost 5 years now solo, and having everything put together is really, really fantastic. It shows that eventually, once the team comes together, then it'll already be like in sync for you. You won't have an issue of, dang, I don't know, because like I'm still trying to figure out if I can do these things on my own. You'll be like, I'm already good. So once you know, when it's like, I can't commit or delegate myself to this one little thing 100%, that's where you tell yourself, maybe I need a team. I mean, maybe different based on your situation. Again, it's situational for a lot of entrepreneurs, but it's just an example. I know for me, I've been doing everything by myself as well, but I understand that, like, at one point, because a lot of people have been asking me, when are we going to get more video podcasts from you, Shon? And to be 100%, I think it's the matter of, I need to figure out my time management on that, because I think I can do it. It's just a matter of, I need to allocate the right time to do this and that. But maybe if not, I might have to get a video editor and say, hey, you focus on this, because I can't have the time to do that. So I feel like for you, it's going to definitely happen sometime. But again, commend you for doing all of this on your own, for real.
Thank you. We're definitely in process of trying to expand. For me, my entrepreneurial mind knows that for the successful processes that I've come up with, the recipes, everything is written down. It's in a document. So if ever I need to ask someone to jump in, or I need to outsource, the instructions are there. It just has to be that way. This is the fastest way for the business to keep running and grow. So if anything, I would suggest you document your processes, your successful processes.
Definitely. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, if you're still listening to us here on The Safe Room, live on LuvBay Radio, we are here with Khree Fearman, a product photographer. It's been a fantastic conversation so far. And now I want to switch gears. I want to get into our activity portion. So this is something that we like to incorporate on the show, where we try to do a little bit of role play with some of the guests that we have. So since, Khree, again, you are a product photographer, I have this very nice candle. It's spiced gingerbread. I don't know if you can see, but smells delightful. So let's say, for example, I'm a client and I come to you and I'm like, Khree, listen, I need to get photos for my candle. I sell candles, and right now I just don't have like a camera, and I've tried taking photos before, but they just came out trash. They're just garbage and everything like that. Just how would I go about this? And maybe you can like do a little role play of just like how you would, use this candle in one of your photo shoots, how it would look like, the process of you even setting up all the equipment. But yeah, let's just start off with the beginning. I'm someone who has a candle business. I have this candle right here, and I want to get photos, but I can't do it myself. I tried it before, it didn't work. Do you think you can help me?
Yeah, could definitely help you. So First and foremost, I want to ask you, how do you want people to feel when they light your candle?
So I want people to feel when they light my candle that it is home vibes. I want them to feel that they are home, they're safe, that it's a welcoming environment. And most importantly, it just allows them to just let go of all the stresses in the world where they can just, vibe out, find their zen. I want my candles to feel like that once they smell it, once they light it up, once they blow it out, you feel the sense and the aroma. That's what I want to feel with my candle.
Okay. All right. Thank you for sharing your vision with me. So, I would actually suggest a few visual options for your candle. It being a warm spice cinnamon candle, I would do a few photo shoots, a few images of the candle coming out of an oven. Put it on a cookie sheet, probably about 6 or 9 of them in a row. You see the first row in focus, and then the last one's a little blurry, but give it that warm, homey feel, because from what you're describing, it's to me it would smell like a baked good. So
Yeah.
you wanna enclose a story around the candle. So that would be my first visual suggestion for you. My second would definitely be just somewhere in a living room where it's
Okay.
ambient, you know, somebody reading a book in the background, but the candle is what's in focus, and you can definitely see the flame going. You don't really want to photograph a candle that's not lit in a very elaborate environment, because then it's like, what are you smelling if the candle's not lit? But I would do that, and then my third suggestion would be in a bathroom. A lot of people will use a candle in the bathroom while they're taking a bath or a shower for the sole purpose of relaxing and putting their mind into a safe space. Okay. So I would go ahead and do something like that, take a photo of it on a bathroom ledge, like a tub ledge.
Mm-hmm.
And those would definitely be my suggestions. Not a lot of external light. I want the candle to be first in front, like, just right then and there. I don't want really anything else to be in focus. Um, and a tripod. Absolutely use a tripod, because the flame will be doing this. And you definitely want to be able to catch the flame just, you know? So that's kind of where my mind's going with how to photograph a candle.
Okay, thank you, Khree. I really appreciate it. I think from those three potential, situations on how I want my calendar to look like, I kind of like the second option that you provided, a living room. I feel like, again, I wanted to make it feel like a very homey vibe. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think I want to go with that living room setting. It's a great idea. Thank you.
No problem.
Okay, so for the photos itself, I'm thinking I want it to be like just landscape photos, but I'm
Okay.
not sure as well. Like I said, I don't know that much about like photography, so I'm thinking landscape because I want it to be where I'm capturing the candle, but also some of the background of where this candle would be for this living room setting. Like, what would you think, and what would be probably the best format to go? Landscape, portrait? I'm not sure.
So first, I'm gonna ask you where you see yourself selling these candles. What platforms? Is this gonna be on a website, social media?
Yeah, I want to sell this on my candle website. So I want this to be able for people to buy online. I'm looking to hopefully get these candles in stores in the future, but right now I'm focusing more on selling these candles on my website.
Okay, so I would suggest that we do portrait orientation. Some with the ingredients, some without. Um, Being able to see the ingredients alongside the candle will take all the guesswork out of, okay, what's in the candle? What does this smell like? You're going to take a photo of a lavender candle. What are you going to have beside the candle? Lavender. So, for in your case, I would definitely put cinnamon sticks. Nothing too crazy, like a pile of dusty cinnamon. That's not, you don't really know what that is looking from afar. You want something that's going to be really identifiable. So cinnamon sticks, with what it is that you're looking at, and probably like a cookie or like a small piece of a baked good next to it. And in that case, we wouldn't light the candle. This would be an on white image because you want them to show up on Google, underneath the SEO images. So, and you can now shop within Google. So I would suggest that in terms of what type of images we take.
Okay, that sounds fantastic. So I want to get these photos like started very, very soon. So could you tell me how much this would cost? What would be the next steps to make this happen? Because again, I want to hopefully get this within, well, it's like the next month, to be able to get the photos, have it there, and then put these on my website. So then I'm able to start probably getting more sales for my candles.
Of course, of course. And we definitely want to get you as quickly to the sales as possible. So, to answer your first question regarding cost, to secure my time is $600 off the bat. And then from there, we would build based off of your scope of work, like the work needed. So for you, I would suggest about 4 images for the candle. One with the lid on, one with it off. A lot of people would like to know if it's a 3-wick candle, a 1-wick candle, a 2-wick candle. Is it a soy wick? What kind of wick is it? So we'll look at that. We definitely want the back. We want to see if there are any instructions regarding how to use the candle, how long you can have it lit for. And then we would have a fun image, something that's got the ingredients in it, or somebody trying to light it, like make the motion of doing that. So in that case, we would be looking at $950 before tax, because we're legit here in Canada. And how that would work is I would send over the quote first. I wouldn't send an invoice. I would like you to have the opportunity to decide whether or not the quote is feasible for your budget. If it is, all you have to do is accept the quote. It automatically turns to an invoice, and then you're asked to remit 50% of the fee upfront, just so that I can take care of any materials that I need, any spaces that I need to rent, just to be able to give you the type of images that you're looking for. And then I would shoot. You would get your images, and that's it. That's it.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much, Khree. I really appreciate that. And
No
that
problem.
was a good job in the little exercise right there. You really broke it down, so I appreciate you doing that. And with that, that's all I have for today. So, Khree, thank you again for coming on for the debut, the radio debut of the Safe Room. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, and thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited for you, because although this is your first, I know that there will be so many more after this, and I'm definitely going to be tuning in. I love the Safe Room. You made me feel very safe. This has been a long time in the making, so I'm glad that you and I get to have a one-on-one conversation with, the people on live. Hey, what's up? So I'm very proud of you. When I first met you, this was a podcast.
Yeah.
You've grown. So this is amazing, and I can't wait to see what you do next.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Khree. Quickly, before we head off, tell people where they can find you.
You can find me on Instagram under Creativity, KHREEATIVY, or you can just search up your favorite product photographer. That is Canadian spelling. Your with the apostrophe. You can also find me on Google, www.onwyt.co, and then you can search up my government name on Facebook, KHREELXIS, Fearman, and you'll find me.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much, Khree. Thank you to everyone listening here to the Safe Room podcast here on LuvBay Radio. You can check us out on Instagram at The Safe Room Official. If you want to listen to the rest of the episodes that we have, We're on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, the Safe Room Podcast, if you type it in there. And we'll be back here next week, 8 p.m. Tune it in to your favorite podcast moving forward.
Look at you.
This has been Shon Williams here, and we'll see you guys next